The one junior that we do like is Newstrike Capital. What they do have is a very good management team led by the CEO, Richard Whittle, who've been involved in junior mining companies before. A great job in developing these companies. What they've done is collected a land package in Mexico in a very, very prolific gold belt. Goldcorp has one of its largest mines there. It's operating. It's called Los Filos. Down the trend, we've got Torex Gold. TXG is the ticker on Canada. They're in the process of developing the next big gold mine in that trend. And then we've got Newstrike, which is contiguous to those properties. And what they found is a high-grade area where you haven't seen in that region before, which what it means is for a buyer potentially, or for a person that wants to build that mine, it makes it cheaper for them to process the gold.
Are you comfortable this is not refractory ore?
I'm comfortable. There's a lot of talk that potentially it's refractory, but the way we look at it is, if you look at the mineralization at Los Filos, up the trend, look at the mineralization at Torex, that's not refractory ore. Refractory ore essentially is extremely difficult to process.
Right.
We believe that given that they're on the same trend, we don't believe it's refractory ore, but even if it is, the prospect here is a $4 to $5 million initial resource that can grow potentially to 10 million ounces. So I think it's big enough that in the event where you need to process the difficult ore, you can spend the capital to do it because of the tremendous ounces.
And are they playing the game properly down there? Torex ran into problems from the drug runners.
Yeah.
Are these guys doing it differently such that they're not going to have the problems that Torex did?
I believe so. I was on site a couple of months ago. In terms of the security issues and the way that they've taken us around and introduced us to various people on site, extremely friendly. They've talked to all the right government people, all the right workers, structured, relationships necessary to go ahead. So I think what they've done is learn from the problem that Torex has had and implemented measures that prevents that from happening to them.
Brian, I've got a question, though. Can we just step back for a second and take a look at the gold price and the fact that some of these gold companies have not performed well? There is such a disconnect. What is the catalyst and what's the timing to get these stocks moving? How do you have some incentive at this point?
I think a couple of things. One is we need a little bit of stability in the gold price. I think you're starting to see it now. You haven't seen the massive swings that you saw early in the year where it rallied to $1,900, then back to $1,500, and then you just don't know where it's going to go next. It's been consolidating quite nicely over the last few months, so the stability will provide people some comfort. The second part of it is, with the improving U.S. economy, people are saying, hey, QE3 is no longer available. Greece has been sort of fixed. We know that Europe is not really going to be fixed. But those headlines are behind us right now. I think as the European headlines rear its ugly head again, with Spain having problems, the U.S. likely potentially rolling over with, the data that we're seeing is starting to roll over a bit. And Bernanke had said potentially you don't want to put QE3 off the table because you might need it. And so I think, from a gold price perspective, you could get a constructive gold price going forward. And I think the stability, as well as people looking at these names and going how cheap they are, will bring people back into the sector.
All right, Brian, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you very much
for
joining us.
Thanks.
Brian Hewen, managing partner at Red